Okay, and here we are for another podcast. I'm with my brother Lance,
Hello.
and this podcast today is going to center around online dating and the triumphs and the perils of online dating. I've had more perils than triumph, and Lance has had more triumphs than perils. So we're both going to come at this from two completely different ends of the spectrum. Okay, so we're going to start this off with just kind of naming the different dating websites and our impressions of them, and we'll be right back with that. All right, and we are back. So, Lance, what dating apps do you know about?
The dating apps that I am familiar with are probably the most popular one is probably Tinder, and that's pretty much the most popular one I use. The other ones that I also use are is one called Hinge. What's the other one? Hinge, Bumble, and I did use Match once, but Match is like a scam, so I stopped using them altogether.
Okay, I've used Match, Plenty of Fish, Tinder, and I think that's about it for me. Now, to me, they're all the same because I swear you find the same people on every app. To me, but you got to remember now, for people who are listening, I'm 10 years older than Lance, so I was using dating apps in the early 2000s when my brother and sister were just coming out of high school, so they weren't really doing that. But I was on some dating apps, and I swear some of those people I feel on those dating apps, I feel like I've grown up with them because I swear I have followed them through the apps over the years. Because I'll get on an app and I'll use it for a while, and then I'll stop using it, and then everything will kind of lock up and freeze. So then I gotta open up another account and put new pictures. I always put new pictures up. I don't keep the same pictures.
Oh, I thought it was one of those situations where you thought like you just open up your apps. Like, oh, I remember this guy back in early 2000s.
Because I change my pictures, but the guys that are on there, they don't necessarily change theirs. They'll go, like, I'll be on it maybe off and on for a year, then I'll stop, and I could stop, and there could be like a 2 or 3 year pause, no exaggeration, and I'll get back on and sometimes I have to start a whole new account because my account is completely just shut down or whatever they've done to it, and I'll start a new one, put new pictures up, and the same dude will still be on there 3 years later with the same pictures.
The same 10-year-old picture.
Yes, I've gotten on there even like today. Because sometimes it'll kind of spark something in me to get back on it, like at holiday time sometimes. Because you figure, well, there might be new people on there. And you'll still see old people with the same picture that they had back in 2008, 2010. It's the same. And I know it's them. And so I kind of feel like sometimes, and I don't know if I'm doing it just to be like a jerk or something, I want to write them and say, hey, I've been seeing you since 2005 or 6. How have you been? I feel like we should talk.
I feel like I've known you like for a long time. I feel like we're friends.
Yeah.
Are you going to update your photo at any point? Because that's how I recognize you.
Yeah, like I tell them, like, dude, I want to do that sometimes. I just want to write them and go, you know what? I feel like you and I are like relatives at this point. I have seen your face on this dating app for dang near 2 decades now. And you have not changed one bit.
Yeah.
I've changed every time I've started up a new account. You, sir, look the same as you did 20 years ago.
People just lazy. I don't see what's so hard. You pretty much got like a camera attached to your hip 24/7, right? What's so hard about just taking a whole new picture? I don't understand that.
They won't do it.
I know on my end, the biggest thing, like, what you have to worry about, guys just not updating their photos, or you kind of following the same people. The biggest things to have to watch out for are there's a lot of bots. I'm not sure if the women have to go through this, but like if you're a dude and you're looking for women or whatever, you could be running into a whole lot of bots. I mean, that's a lot of them.
Now, what is a bot and what does it do?
Okay, so a bot is pretty much someone. It's like either a person, or it could be a person that's controlled remotely by a person, where it's pretty much there to get your attention. And what they'll do is they'll try to sell you something, or they may try to get you to sign up for something so they can like send you like spyware, viruses, take your money or something like that altogether. And it's usually it's really easy to spot because when you look at their profile, they usually have nothing there. It's usually just like they usually just post their Snapchat handle and that'll be it. Or they'll say something like, yeah, I'm down for whatever. Snapchat down here. I'm like, okay, this clearly is a bot.
Let me tell you two things about bots. I've been on dating apps like Plenty of Fish, or I don't think anybody asked me this on Match, but definitely Plenty of Fish will come into my messages and be like, "Are you a bot?" And it happens so often. Finally, one day I wrote one guy back and I said, "So if you ask a bot if they are a bot, does it have to confess that it is a bot? Because I keep getting this question and I'm a real person."
Not really, but bots are made to have automated responses. So if you ask, "Are you a bot?" and if it seems like if it has like an automated response, then you can tell from the response if it's a bot or not.
What will it say?
It will say something like, "Of course not," or "I'm not," or I can't really say what the response will be, but if you keep talking to it, you'll eventually figure out, okay, this is a bot I'm talking to. Because a normal person doesn't talk like this.
Well, I've had dudes ask me that like 2 times, and I'm like, "No, I just told you I'm not." I'm like, what proof do you want that I'm not a bot? Like, ask me something completely out of order that a bot wouldn't be able to. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a very, it may sound strange, but for all the stuff that men have to go through on these dating apps, it's a pretty reasonable question. Like, are you a bot right now? Because there's so many bots.
No, but let me tell you. One, because I had to start up a new account when I couldn't get into my old dating account. Someone or something had taken over that account.
Oh, your old account?
Yes, because I was able to log into it and I saw all these messages from quote unquote me that I didn't write, like engaging these guys in conversation. Mm-hmm. And so I came back in and took over the account and I wrote the people who were, because they were getting mad at my picture. They weren't mad at me, they were mad at them. And so they were like, "Hey, you're playing games and blah, 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 blah." And I said, "Look, I just came back to this account. I haven't been on it for like a year. And someone has come in and taken over and has been writing you. I don't know who, I don't know when or how they did it. But it was not me inviting you out. It was not me inviting you over. It was not me." And so I just shut down the whole account because I was like, "Is this what happens if you leave your account?"
That's what happens. If you either bot or someone else will come in and take over your account and masquerade as you. Yeah, it happens.
No, I was just like, this is some bull I don't like. So I just shut it down and started a new one. And I'm like, and then I'm sitting up here wondering, I wonder if that's what happened to all those other accounts I used to have. Because they don't just delete them after so many years of non-use. They just keep them there. And to me, I would erase them after a year of no logging in. Delete. You can make a new one. Because you end up making a new one anyway.
I mean, yeah, it's reasonable. But I know that's the biggest thing on my end that I usually have to run into. Especially on Tinder. Tinder's really bad about that.
Bots?
Yeah, bots. And I got matched with this one girl. Oh, it seemed pretty nice. Like, no, she was actually a real person. But you know, they have this is a term. I actually have to look this up. It's this term called it's called love bombing.
Right.
Where they'll just say all this overly positive stuff in order to kind of butter you up and stuff like that.
I'm magically falling in love with you right now.
And then I'm talking to this person. I'm like, okay, this seems off. This seems really weird. And I was right, because at the end she was trying to sell me like, hey, I'm not sure, if you're really enough for this, but just letting you know that I do this for a job. But like, I do web shows, so like, if you're interested, you can come down to my web show. Like, okay, no, you're doing all that buttering me up just to get me to watch your web shows. No, I'm not doing that.
You can just put an ad up, and people will either come to your web show or they won't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. You're so handsome. Oh wow, you're like the man of my dream. Do you work out? Do you like?
Yeah, that's what they. That's what they'll do. Like, they'll butter you up so they can get you to watch their web show.
And I bet the web shows suck. Just a bunch of twerking, sliding on a bar stool chair.
Like stripper pole stuff, just the adult webcam shows. So I'm like, no.
Okay. Well, I guess that's going to be it for this segment of all the different websites. I personally think from whether you're swiping or whether you're clicking on profiles, to me, they are all the same. And if you're on them long enough, you'll see the same folks on Tinder, on Plenty of Fish, on Match, on Bumble, and then they try to get you on some of the ones. They try to get you to pay, but it's really like, pay for what? Right. I've seen all these dudes on the free site, so why would I pay you for the privilege of talking to them here when if I wanted to talk to them, I could talk to them for free over there?
Yeah.
So, but I'll talk about my experience with actually paying for a site one time, and it was not anything with what I was expecting. But I guess the next segment we can talk about the personalities that we have met. So the next segment will be about dating app personalities. Mm-hmm. And we'll be right back.
All right, this is part 2 of the Dating Mishaps and Adventures, or Misadventures podcast. This is Lance, and here I am with my elder sister, Mallory. And now for this segment, we want to talk about some of the personalities that we had ran into on these dating apps. And I guess we can also talk about some of the Tinder profiles, too, that we see, and just some of the pet peeves that we have when it comes down to Tinder profiles. Now, Mallory, since you already said that you had a lot of mishaps when it comes to these dating apps, I figured you would want to go first.
Okay. All right. So, well, we're talking about the personalities. So, to me, the personalities kind of go with they're not always a true picture of the person. Like, I've had guys on there, I want someone who does not smoke. And so I've run into profiles where every picture on the guy's profile will be of him standing around holding a cigarette. But on the profile, it says that they don't smoke. And so I see this contradiction and I go on about my business. I don't say anything to them. Well, some apps show who you are when you look at their profile. So then I'll get a message in my inbox. Hey, you came by. You didn't speak. You're not going to say anything. And then you're just like, well, no, I didn't think we were really compatible, blah, blah, blah. Oh, why? I hate that. Well, why? And so well, sir, your profile says that you do not smoke, but every picture on your profile shows you smoking. And then they'll come with oh, well, maybe you could help me quit. Yeah. I wish I would be around to have you in a funky mood and nicotine withdrawal and all that. No. I don't care if it's cigarettes or methamphetamines. I'm not helping you come down off nothing. You can crawl under the table. I don't care. I'm not helping you overcome nothing. You will be on your own, sir. I will not be helping you. How about you?
Okay, with me, I can't really say I've ran into a lot of outlandish personalities. What I do see is, I guess this is one, is that there is a lot of flakes on there, and when you talk to them, they made it seem as though, they seem like a pretty nice person, pretty genuine. They don't seem like the kind of people that will just flake on you. But so far, a mass majority of them that I've actually talked to, and actually like maybe gone out with them once, all of them just flake. Which is kind of weird considering, like, especially when we go on the first day, I usually think, okay, we had a good time. There wasn't, like, no awkward silences or anything like that. I think everything was all good, was all fun and good.
What else?
Oh, I thought you were...
No, I'm trying to get
Oh.
Finance, dog problems.
Oh. But, yeah, like I was saying before, like, you talk to them, it seemed like everything was all good, but then afterwards you find out, like, oh, this person's a huge flake. They didn't say anything to me. They didn't like maybe mention, like, they didn't have a good time, because I thought everything else was good. And like I said, I'm the kind of person, like, if you, like, didn't have a good time, or if you ghost me, I'm not going to be the one, like, trying to chase you down and try to, like, hey, what happened? Hey, why didn't you reply back? Hey, I'm gonna say I will not do that. I'm the last person to do that. If you don't respond back, then I'm just going to assume, okay, she must didn't like it, or she, I guess she just wasn't feeling me or whatever. Hey, it's all good. I'm not gonna hold her. I'm not gonna hold anything against her. I'm just gonna move on.
Okay, another personality I've come across is a lot of... Okay, oh my God, this gets on my goddamn... Okay,
It's a good one.
Men who are on the profile, but they're cross-dressers. And so when you go in and you're flipping through the profiles, all of a sudden you'll see a woman. You're like, what's this woman doing here? It's supposed to be like all the men on the site that are straight. And it's a woman there. And then you kind of look a little closer and it's like, oh my gosh, that is a man dressed like a woman. And then you read the profile and basically they're just trying to kind of like make, which I'm okay with you, just being upfront, because if you like dressing like a woman, and most women are put off by that, you don't want to deceive anyone, so you come out with it straight away. Hey, I cross dress. But I don't know. It's one thing to tell people that you cross dress, but it's another to put it on your dating site. To me, like, why wouldn't you just save that for polite, like, private conversation? Like, why would you put it on? Because you could tell them that in the very first interactions that you have, and just tell them you dress up like a woman. Why do you have to dress up like Jessica Rabbit in your profile picture?
I think it's better to just let them know, like, on their profile, like, hey, this is what I do, and not just like. So at least, like, if they're upfront about it and you still want to, like, hang out with them, at least you go in already knowing who they are. So I think it's probably better that they do announce it.
Yeah, I'm not saying announce it, but it's very weird going through man profiles and all of a sudden you see someone who's all dolled up with a wig and a dress and a stuffed bra, and it's just weird. It's weird to see, and it's. I remember I would never see anything like that maybe 5 or 6 years ago. But now it's like every 8th or 9th picture, it's of some man dressed up like a woman. And I'm just like, okay, I guess that's what you like. I wouldn't put it on a dating profile. I mean, you don't know who's on there looking that up. If you're trying to keep it a secret, like, you would know some single women who are on here too. Like, you don't think they might snatch your photos and show them, call you out or something? Let's see.
I know. Okay, well, we're talking about that. Okay, there's this one. I guess if this fits in this topic, but another one I'm tired of seeing are the ones that are like they're poly. They call themselves polyamorous, and they're looking for like multiple partners. Those are the ones I'm really tired of seeing it, because then it seems like every other profile I come across, it's always someone say, "Hey, I'm poly. I'm looking for someone." Like, what has polyamory become so popular now? Like, I don't understand it. Like, where did it come from?
I don't know if it's really popular. I don't know if it's more popular than it is. People are just more willing to tell you now. But I don't know. If I had, and this is a stereotype coming, or not a stereotype, but a prejudice or a stereotype, whatever you want to call it. I think that it's one thing, because I've seen it on the woman end, on the women looking for men end. It's on that end too, which I think is just creepy. But it'll be a woman and a man, and they're looking for another woman. That to me is a little, even though I don't like that either, it's a little more different than a man and a woman looking for another man. Because in that aspect, I'm like, girl, your boyfriend is just gay. Your boyfriend is gay. Like, he's helping you find another boyfriend to bring into y'all's mix. Which I think that if you're a woman and a man and looking for another woman, like, honey, I hate to tell you this, but your girlfriend is gay.
Which is most likely. Well, maybe she's from not gay. Maybe she's bisexual.
That's gay.
But I heard there are more bisexual women than there are bisexual men.
I don't know.
I think so.
I know that. Okay, this is going to put us in a whole other conversation. There was an interview on YouTube I saw. If I can find it, I'm gonna show it to you.
Soft?
Huh?
Soft? Who's it?
No, I said I saw.
Oh, okay.
I saw this. It was a debate on YouTube about whether or not black women should date or give bisexual men a chance, like to be with them, date them, marry them. And there was this woman on this show, was her and the host. And the host is not gay, but the host was like leading the charge for this. And the woman on the
host was a man or woman?
The host was a man. He was not gay, but he was carrying the torch for bisexual men and why black bisexual men, and why won't black women date bisexual black men? And so the woman on this that he was talking to was like, well, I don't want to date a bisexual man. And so the host acting all like, what? Why not? And so the girl was like, because I don't want to. And the host was acting like he just could not fathom why a straight woman would not want to date a bisexual man. And I was just like, this man is a moron.
So you're too invested into this debate, even though you say you're not gay or bisexual, but you're too invested. You're trying too hard to carry this torch. It's like something's weird.
He was calling the girl homophobic. He was saying she was trying to erase bisexual identity. It's like, number one, she is one woman in the world. One. And she doesn't want to date a bisexual man. I don't think that straight men should date bisexual women. Because there's going to come a point where she's going to want vagina. And you can't give it to her. And there's going to come a point when that bisexual man wants penis. And you can't give it to him. And they want to say, oh, well, just get a strap on and blah, blah, blah. Okay, number one, that's a fake. And it's not, to me, it would not be a worthy or realistic substitute. Would you tell a bisexual woman, would you really expect a bisexual woman to just make do with one of those pocket vaginas? Well, when she feels like she wants a vagina, she can just reach in her pocket and pull out that pocket vagina and then lick on that, and it'll be just like a real vagina. No, it won't. Because
the whole entire point is the person like attached to it.
Yeah, the person attached, not just that little member that you can, No, but Lance, you should. She was so like mind blown. She was able to get on 2 or 3 other black women's channels and be like, was I the butthole here? Was I the one in the wrong? Even if I was in the wrong, I'm not sorry. But why should black women have to take a bisexual man when at some point he's gonna want some peen and you can't give it to him? Mm-hmm. Why would you do that?
It's the same debate as like it's a similar debate going on where like people are trying to say, oh, would you date a trans woman? I wouldn't. I mean, like, there are people that will date trans women. I'm just not the one. And it's like, oh, what's wrong with you? You transphobic or something? Like,
yes.
No, because I want to have kids.
If that's what you want to call it, I'll be transphobic. I'll be homophobic. I'll be all of that. I don't care. I don't want what I don't want, and I don't want even because if that's the case, you ask the question, well, why can't those bisexual men get with bisexual women? You know why they can't? Because a bisexual woman won't date a bisexual man. There's a whole list of videos about that. Bisexual women will not date a bisexual man. Now, what is it that they know that I don't know? I'm thinking they know and feel the same way that I feel. That he is going to want to go and be with a man at some point. Isn't it trying to say, well, it's not either or. Like, it's not like you gotta that they have to have both in their life. Well, then how do they know they're bisexual if they don't have both in their life and enjoy it to the point where they will declare, I'm bisexual? Like, get out of here. No. But, what's another personality type you come across?
Personality types, yeah, the polyamory kind of read her off. Segue to an entirely different topic, but yeah, polyamory ones I'm really getting tired of seeing.
Hey, I got one, and you tell me if you come into the female version.
I can't think of anything else. I may think something else.
I do. Okay. Men who have a fresh baby born, like I'm talking 3 years and under.
I see one.
And hold on, and they're on the dating website trying to find a girlfriend, and the person that they got a baby with, they didn't marry him or nothing, and they out here looking for another woman to date, be with, or whatever, and they tell you in the profile, I'm a father to a 6-month-old, a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old. Oh, there's no baby mama drama over here. And I'm like, dude, are you crazy?
Is your baby mama dead? Hey, that's the only reason why I may give anyone a chance. It's like, if the significant other is dead, it may sound cruel, but that's the only legit reason why I may give you a chance.
To me, it's like, number one, anything under 5, I'm not going to trust. And let's say the baby is 6 months old. You say you and your baby mama are fine, dating, y'all broke up or whatever, dating other people. What kind of piece of trash are you to where 6 months after this woman risked her life birthing a baby for you, she don't want nothing to do with you. She don't care that you out dating other folks. She wants you out of her sight, out of her face. She don't care nothing about where you are, what you doing, and nothing else. That to me tells me something about you, because your own baby mama who just had a baby for you don't give a dog where you are, what you're doing, who you're doing it with, as long as you out of her face. It does not sound good, men out there, if you sit up and got a womb wet baby talking about how there's no baby mama drama, you and baby mama broke up and y'all are all right and blah 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 blah. That sounds very funny and weird to me. Because if I just had a baby with somebody, I don't think I'd be quite so cool in under a year to where I'm gonna watch you walk off and go date other people. I just don't think I would be like that unless you were a piece of crap. And I don't care if you live or die. That's the only way I feel like I could be like, okay, yeah, we can get, baby's only a month old, but okay, sure. You can do your thing. Go do that.
I've seen dating profiles where the woman is still pregnant. And she's still trying to date. I'm like, shame on you, man. Like,
what is she? Do they ever mention the father?
No. They don't mention anything about the father. Just mention like, hey, I am like a couple months pregnant. Or whatever. Like, I don't understand that. It's like, this is like Mallory. Something like when you have a message for the men, I have a message for the women. Most men don't like to take care of another man's responsibility. That's how we feel. You may have a couple of guys out there that be willing to do it, but a majority of dudes, that's a major turnoff. Especially if you're on here, like on your dating profile, like, look, you're about to pop any second looking for like another date or whatever. That does not look good. That is a major turnoff for most men.
If you find another one of those, screenshot it so I can read the profile. I want to see what they write. I wouldn't even know what to say.
That is so like shameless to me. Like, hey, I'm about to pop any second now, but who wants to snatch me up? Like, no. Are you lost your freaking mind?
I had a dude with some young kids. He wrote me, and I let him know I wasn't interested. Because women ain't trying to necessarily be stepmother either. Mm-hmm. And so he wrote me talking about, I wrote on his profile he had kids. And so when he wrote me, I was like, I'm sorry, I'm really not looking for anyone who has children. Especially as, I didn't say especially as young as yours. That's what I was thinking. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, my kids are real little. And I said, yes, I know. That's why I'm not interested in a man with children, and you have children. Oh, well, I take care of my kids.
I didn't say you didn't.
I was like, yeah, you should. They are yours. Good for you. Well, tell me why you wouldn't want to. Then here go to tell me again. Well, how come you don't want to? Why wouldn't you want to date? Go on a date with me? I said, listen. I think it's great that you were taking care of the children that you laid down and got, but you're not impressing me by telling me you take care of your children, because I have no children. I have my dog. I have no children. So you talking to me about how you take care of your kids has no bearing whatsoever on me or my life. I have no children here for you to potentially mistreat. And if you even talk crazy to my dog, you gotta go. But I don't have any children here. So you telling me how great of a father you are to your children means absolutely nothing to me. Because I don't have any children. I think it's good that you're doing that. You should. They're your kids. But it's not impressing me. I don't give a dog what you doing with your... And then on top of that, how do I know you're doing all that great stuff for your kids? I don't know you, and I don't know the kids. I don't know your mama. I don't know none of y'all. So you could just be giving me lip service. You say you're a good dad. How am I supposed to know? I don't know. I don't care.
I heard similar stories where they'll say something like, "Well, you don't need to take care of them. Their dad does that for them. Like their dad takes care of them." I'm like, that's one thing I don't understand. When they say like, "Well, when you try to date a single, like a woman that has kids, you don't have to look after her kids. I'm like, yeah, sure. But at some point, you will. Like, you telling me, like, throughout this entire relationship I will have with you, I am to pretend that your kids don't exist? I will have to acknowledge your kids' existence at some point.
Yeah, unless she's just saying she just wants to date for a little while and she doesn't want to be serious with nobody. But that doesn't
that's
mean
fine.
It doesn't mean you're looking to just date for, just waste some time and da-da-da-da. Most people don't go into it like that. Most people try to go into it like, I want to find someone to be with. There are people who are like, I just want to find somebody to mess around with for a few. They're usually the homeless people. Yeah. And they need somewhere to stay. So they're like, I know I ain't gonna be serious with nobody I find, but I might be able to get 3 hots and a cot if I put my best foot forward. Let's see. So I guess that's it for this segment. What should we talk about next?
You want to talk about pet peeves when it comes to? I guess we already did that.
We kind of did that because we talked about lying on your profile, being pregnant on your profile, having.
What about no bios? Yeah, I have a couple more.
Okay, we can talk. Okay, next segment we're going to talk about bios or lack thereof, and pictures or lack thereof, and we'll be right back. All right, this segment is going to be talking about bios or biographies and pictures on dating profiles. Okay, so what has been your experience across different platforms for dating sites? What does the picture situation look like to you?
To me, there's a lot. Like, okay, I'll say this: on Tinder, that's probably where I see some of the best profile photos, because that's where you can tell people actually hire like photographers to take their photos, which is good. Number one rule when it comes to dating profiles: at least have a professional, at least semi-professional, or just an overall just higher quality photo as on the front of your profile, because that's the first image we're going to notice, and that's the first we're going to look at. So it should be a nice photo. It could be like a profile shot, or it could be like a medium profile shot where it's like kind of like maybe the waist up, and then everything else can be like close-ups, other shots of you doing other stuff, like partaking in your hobbies or whatever. But overall, your first photo should be something nice. The photos I have been seeing though are just like some clownish stuff, to a point where I think like, hey, these people aren't taking it seriously. Like, I've seen photos where people, like, their front profile pic is just like a filter photo from like Snapchat or something, and that's all they'll have. I'm like, okay, you're a clown. You're not taking it seriously.
In case anyone is wondering, what was your major in college?
Digital film and video production.
So that is why you're hearing all this technical jargon, because he does that as a career. So when he's close up and profile and blah 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 blah,
yeah, but like,
it's because of that.
Yeah, okay, because you don't know what I'm talking about. Like, when I say profile, a profile is like either like it's just a headshot where it's just either like a bust style photo where it's like your shoulders to your head, or it could be like a medium profile where it's like waist to the top of your head. That's what I should be able to see in your photo. What I have been seeing is just like these stupid Snapchat filter photos where it's like with the little dog ears with a dog tongue. I'm like, oh my goodness. Can you take a nice photo? Please.
So not only is he trying to find someone, he's trying to find someone with photographic acumen.
It's not even that. Just take a nice photo. Like, I don't want all this Snapchat crap on your photo. Like, just take a nice photo. It's
because it alters how you look, right? I don't do Snapchat like that. I don't do I don't do filters. I don't think I have any photos with a filter on it. Not one. Not one. And that's on my Facebook, my Instagram. I don't really use my Snapchat. Twitter, I don't do filters. I don't even know how they work, really. They're just one more extra step I'm not trying to get involved with.
After a while, it just looks weird. Especially, I see like the most common one is like the one that kind of like smooths out your skin. It just looks weird.
It smooths out your skin?
Yeah.
Like takes away like blemishes and stuff?
Blemishes, but it's like when it does it to a whole new level to the point where your skin almost looks like plasticky. It looks weird.
Oh.
It's not a good filter, but a lot of people use it and think it's good, but it's not.
Okay. Well, what I've seen with pictures is usually a lack of pictures. I'm not surprised that you're not complaining because you're looking at the girl pictures. You're a man looking at the girl pictures. Well, I'm a woman looking at the dude pictures, and I have a serious complaint about lack of photos. Mm-hmm. I knew you weren't going to probably say there's a lack of pictures. I had a feeling you wouldn't. Women usually take more pictures, I think, on average anyway. Yeah. But I'm talking like profiles on all of the different platforms, all of them. They might have one. 2 would be pushing it. And I'm sitting up here, my profile could have like 6 or 7. Good ones, good pictures, up close, medium, far away, from the side, I don't really do a lot of high angle photos because I don't do a lot of. I don't really do that.
That's an illusion. That's an illusion. Do you know what's the point of that angle, right?
To make you look thinner.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of the not trying to shame anyone, but a lot of the big girls have to do that.
I don't see how that even works personally. Like it's just up high. I mean, if you got a big belly or a big bottom, how does that make you look thin? You don't have to show me. But I think on the woman's side, there's a serious lack of photos, or the photos look like garbage. Like I had one dude. It looked like
with a potato.
I had one dude on his profile photos. It was literally he took a bunch of like old Polaroids from somewhere in his house or pictures, and took pictures of the pictures with his cell phone and uploaded them to his profile. And I just was like, it took you more time to hunt down these photos and take a picture of them and upload them to your profile than it would have been for you to get a friend to say, hey, take a few pictures of me. If you feel funny asking your friend, which you shouldn't, they're your friend, ask your sister to do it. Ask your mama to do it. If you ask a girl to do it, it's going to probably look a lot better than if you ask your friend to do it. Ask a girl to take you some pictures. But it amazes me. And then they don't put pictures on there. They might have 1 or 2. I have 6 or 7.
I have at least 5 photos of mine.
Well, I have like maybe 6 or 7. And these fools will still get on there and write me, asking me for more pictures. I'm not sending you anything. I'm not giving you no more pictures. I got 5 or 6 on my profile, and you got 1 or 2.
You're the last person to be making demands here.
Yeah, exactly. And then the ones you took are pictures of pictures, or they were taken like with a really look like you took them with an old flip phone camera or something. Mm-hmm. They're real pixelated or something like that. And then where they are taking the picture. I had one dude. He had on his profile standing in front of like a big window. And the window didn't have curtains. It had bed sheets covering the window. And I just went, what in the garbage, Sam, is this?
Poverty alert.
Oh my God. I was just like, how could you even feel comfortable? And someone took the photo of him. So somebody was standing back and took a picture of him standing in front of this window that had bed curtains. That had bed sheets up as curtains.
You know what else I noticed too? A lot of these dudes, when they take these photos, like they stand around and pose as if they're like, just like, I don't want to sound mean here, but the way they pose when they take their pictures, make it seem like there's something mentally wrong with them.
Like the girls or the boys?
No, the boys.
What do you see?
It's like,
oh, not smiling.
Yeah, that's smiling.
He basically is looking like
like kind of look dazed, and
like dull, like just
yeah.
no smile, just looking like, huh?
Like,
or oh wait, now he's throwing up gang signs. Oh, using two hands. Oh, he's making words with his fingers.
I'm trying to make blood with my hands.
He's trying to, he's trying to spell out we're not gangsters, so he doesn't know how to do that.
And those blood or something like that.
Okay, he's throwing up blood signs.
I got arthritis in my hands. I'm sorry.
And he got the west side.
Yeah.
What's that? Wait, I'm doing Spock hands.
Like,
what's west side? Is it this?
Like, yes.
No, you twist the middle.
No, this is west.
Okay, we're trying.
Spock is this.
Okay.
Wait, west you get
no
Spock.
The middle. Yeah, Spock is like this.
Oh wait, okay, yeah, you're right.
That's Spock. We're over here. We're sorry. Our mom and dad had us hood adjacent.
Yeah,
we were never in the hood. We were always
next to it.
Far or far away. We didn't grow up in that life. That's not our life. So we're over here trying to distinguish Spock, the alien Spock from Star Trek, from the Blood and the Crip side.
You said Star Trap?
Star Trap.
Star Trap.
Star Trap Queen.
You ever watch those Spock from a Star Trap? See, you're already missing out.
So yeah, we are definitely not of that life. But I hate that throwing up gang signs that gets you swiped. That will get you swiped to the left. If you only have a couple of photos, I automatically think it's a fake profile. If you only have one photo, or you're catfishing.
Yeah.
Who takes one photo and puts one photo up? That's catfish red alert right then and there. What else did I say? Bad taking pictures in a horrible place. Like, why would you take pictures in front of a rickety old house? In front of a window with bed sheets as curtains? Out. Just, oh God.
It's just kind of like, it screams poverty. Don't do that.
No, you know what else I hate? They'll go back and find a picture of themselves, or I don't even know if they still do this, where you're at a party and they have an airbrushed backdrop. It looks straight out the 90s. It's an airbrush, like a city.
You mean those classic high school photo day photos?
They didn't even have those in high. No. These were at the club. These were club backdrops. And the girls would stand in front of them and they do the drop like that.
I think I've seen those.
Yeah.
Like at an actual club.
Yes. Those were not high school parties. Those were club pictures.
Oh, yeah.
So you have that. I hate that. And then there's some guys like...
And all of them do that same pose too. The one you just did, like the girls I seen, they all do that same pose. I'm like, man.
It's been in the pose I'm doing. I have my back to the camera. I drop down so my knees are bent. I have one hand up in front of me, one hand behind me at an angle, and then my head is turned like that. If you've ever seen that, you'll know what I'm doing when I describe it. Yeah. It's like the pose. It's like the pose of like the 80s and 90s.
Or if you belong to a certain community, you know exactly what kind of photos we're talking about. Just look on your friends. Probably look at your friends' Facebook profile. Look at their photos. You know exactly what we're talking about.
You probably did the pose yourself.
Yeah.
When you were in high school and at the club, when you weren't supposed to be at the club, and you snuck to the club, and you had to show folks that you proof that you went there, and so you took that picture in front of the airbrush background. And if your crew was too big and y'all went past the edges of the background, they just still took the photo. You just saw that some of y'all in the middle was in front of the background and the ones on the side wasn't.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
And also some of the profiles that really bother me. The ones that bother me are just the ones where, like, I've seen so many, like, look, I'm going to have to call y'all out. Because y'all make it seem like y'all supposed to be so proud of yourselves. And I say, if y'all supposed to be proud of yourselves, then own it. Like, I call out the women that consider themselves BBWs. Mm-hmm. Well, these are the ones that when they take a profile picture, all their photos are just photos of their face. they never take any other photos that's not their face.
But you can tell somebody if somebody's big by their face.
I can tell, but it doesn't necessarily mean I want to see all your. I just want to see nothing but face. Take more photos of yourself that's not of your face, because like also in their profile pic, in their profile, they will say, "Oh, I'm a proud BBW" or something along those lines. Okay, if you're proud of it, have more variety of the photos.
Tracy found a ball, y'all. Tracy found a ball.
Okay, we're trying to do this podcast now. Tracy wants to play.
Okay. I think, you know what I don't like? Profile pictures, hats. If in every photo you're wearing a hat, I automatically think, number one, that's odd, because who wears a hat all the time? And number two, okay, well, this person must be bald because they're wearing a hat. And they wear a hat all the time. I think that's to me, that's odd. Mm-hmm. Like, it'd be like if you had a girl and in every picture she had a sleep cap on her head. It's like that to me. Mm-hmm. Like, do dudes wear caps all the time like that? Am I just being like overly critical? Because if I see you got 5 pictures up, and in all 5 pictures,
it is strange. Like, if every photo that you have is you wearing a hat,
everyone, you couldn't find one picture of you not wearing a hat. Yeah. Not wearing sunglasses.
Wearing sunglasses or a cap or some kind. It's kind of weird. You looking for that ball?
I got it. Well, that was blue. So I think that, I don't like, so there's a hat, my hat pet peeve.
Like, I don't like just the face, like, photos of your face. Give me more photos. Especially if you call yourself a proud BBW, then show it. Let me see more.
But are you looking for BBWs?
No, but I just like to see, like, because sometimes it's like, you may not be that big. So, like, okay, well, maybe I can work with that.
Oh, brother, you sound like I don't even know the word. Where you're like obsessed with size, I guess.
Like, what was it?
But I can't. Well, no, you're the anti-chubby chaser. If you were a chubby chaser, you'd be like I said, I love a big one.
Like, if you're a big one, I'm not gonna like instant left. Like, no, there's like a spectrum to it.
Let's see.
Let's see what else.
I can't really think of anything else. This crazy dog and this ball. Okay. I think that's it as far as looking and getting like really just disappointed. I think the next segment, you might not be able to do this segment. I'm going to talk about when I actually paid for a subscription to a dating site.
I did it once. I did it for Match, and that was the only time I did it. I never do it.
You should have called me first, because I would have told you to save your money. So we're about to bash Match in the next segment. See y'all in a minute. Okay, now what did we say we were going to talk about on this one?
On Match's website, and paid subscriptions.
Okay, paid subscriptions and why you are wasting your money. Mm-hmm. Okay, I have paid for a Match subscription. I think I paid for a 3-month subscription. And you've paid for one too?
Yes.
When did you pay for yours?
It was like back early last year. I paid for the 3 months too.
At the beginning of the pandemic?
Yeah.
Were they doing like a sale or something?
I don't even remember.
Okay. I paid for my subscription. It was in 2015 or 2016. Somewhere in there. It was right before I gave up and said, I'm just going to take a trip to Europe. I am not going to spend no more money on these dating sites. The reason I bought the subscription, it was a 3-month sale subscription, was because I was doing summer school this particular year at my school district, and one of the ladies that I worked with had met this really nice guy. And so she was like, and so I told her, I said, well, I've been on Match. I can never find anyone, that would write back or want to meet up or anything like that. I said, I never saw anyone like that on the site. She was like, did you pay for a subscription? I said, no. She said, well, sometimes you get what you pay for. And so I was like, okay, I guess that is a true saying. You get what you pay for. So that's when I decided, okay, the next time they have a sale go on, I'm going to buy a subscription. So I did that. And for that, I know for that 3 months, I made a commitment every day to send out at least 10 to 15 notes to every profile that I thought was even halfway decent. I said, I'm just going to write all of them. And I had like a standard copy paste of, hi, my name is Mallory, blah, 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 blah. But the other part of it would be something in reference to the profile that they wrote. So I had
a sense of originality.
Yeah. So my intro, full disclosure, my intro, hi, my name is Mallory, blah, 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 was all copy paste. I had it saved on my computer. And then the next part, I would write something in particular about what they wrote on their profile. I did that 10 to 15 times a day, every day, for the entire remainder of that subscription price. And when it was over, I canceled the subscription because I'm going to say I sent out over 500 different emails to profiles, at least 500 now. Think about it. Even if you split the difference and say, okay, well, we'll just say you wrote 10 a day. That was 10 a day, every day for about 3 months. So 500 isn't even right.
Said 90 days.
30, 60, 90. Yes. So I'm giving myself a lot less. We're just going to round it out. Let's say I sent 700. Okay. Which when you spread it out over 90 days, that really ain't nothing. And maybe some days I didn't do that many, and other days I did. And I would look at different demographics. I would look at different areas. I would look at different states. I would look at different everything. I got some of everybody. And I probably got 10% right backs. And so I quit the profile thing, and then a few months after that, because after you cancel your subscription, Match starts sending you emails trying to get you to re-enlist. And I wasn't doing it. And so finally, after they just kept trying, I called them, and I told them my complaint. And I said, no, I will never subscribe to your website again for these reasons. And I told them what happened when I had my subscription. And then they offered, so the man who I was talking to offered to, well, we have some profile experts, and we will for free, we'll rewrite your profile and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, rewriting my profile isn't going to do anything. If the person doesn't like my pic, and I had different pictures, all kind of pictures, if the person doesn't like what they see, or maybe they were bots, or maybe they, whatever. They hadn't been on in a long time. Because I didn't check to see when the last time they logged in. I just saw a profile I liked and I wrote it. I said, no. I said, how is changing the wording on my profile going to help? These people don't even read profiles. I read profiles. Men don't really read profiles that often, from what I can see, because I'll write something in my profile, and the dude will ask me a question, and it's right there in my profile. And my profile's not long. I keep it short and sweet. And I was like, no. I said, writing my profile is not going to change anything. If these dudes don't like what they see, that's just it. And then I said, I wrote, and I told them what I did. I said, out of all those hundreds of profiles I wrote, I barely got 10%, if I even got that. I said, so why would I even bother with writing all, with resubscribing if I get those kind of results? And then the guy was like, well, he said something to the effect that let me know that if the other person did not have a paid subscription, they could not write you back. And I said, wait a minute. I said, because I paid for my subscription. So why wouldn't it be that whoever I wrote
did you really get your message?
Would get it and be able to write me back?
That's the problem.
The thing was that if the people I wrote did not have a paid subscription,
they won't be able to write you back.
Right. And at the time, there was no way for me to tell who had a paid subscription and who didn't. I said, so basically, sir, I said, you're telling me that
you have a flawed ass system.
That potentially I wrote all those emails out to all those different profiles, and maybe 30% of them, if they chose to write me back, could have written me back. Because most people on your website are doing a freebie. I said, so what you're saying is I just wasted my time. Because if you're telling me that if the people I wrote didn't have a paid subscription, they couldn't write me back, I just wasted my time. And I paid you a fee. So you should have at the very least, let them write me back. Even if they couldn't write anybody else.
Yeah, they should. Because a person who's actually paying for it is writing you a message. Yeah, you should be able to write them back. Yeah. If that's not the case, then yeah, you have a very flawed system.
And I wasted 3 months of my life. Because who knows, maybe 90% of those profiles I wrote
could have wrote you back if they were able to.
Yeah. I don't know now. I said, I'm not doing another subscription. I packed my bag. I went on a trip. I'm going to Europe. I was like, I'm going to get out of here, get away from all these profiles and dating shit. I don't want to do none of this. I'm about to get up out of here. So what was your experience with the paid subscription? The mine sucked.
Same thing. I didn't get any responses. I don't know what was going on, but now when you tell your story, that probably makes sense. Is that most of those people that I was writing to probably weren't even able to write me back.
Because you got to take into account now the people who, okay, let's say it's 100. Let's say 15 to 20% are bots. And then the other 60 don't have a subscription. And then, 6, 7, 8. And then the last 20 got my note, but they weren't really attracted to me. And she's not really my type. And so they didn't write back. I think that 60% is being conservative over people who are on that site and who are not paying. And then on the women's side, we're paying and writing people. And then the people you think, okay, well, shoot, I'm just striking out like gangbusters. What's going on here? No one I wrote me back? Really? I was like, no. And when he told me that, I said, okay, I will never have a subscription to you again. Even if you change it and make it so the person I'm writing can write me back. Boy, when I tell you, I was writing, and I've never written so much. Even though, like I said, my intro was copy-paste, but I was reading profiles and writing custom notes and looking at pictures and looking at what they want, what they like, what they this, that. And like the woman said, if you get what you pay for. Well, I paid, and I still didn't get. So I said right then and there, I will never pay for a dating subscription again. I refuse. Match.com took my money and laughed all the way to the bank. And I'm sitting up here just shooting off emails, trying to get in as many as I can before my 3-month subscription expires. Shoot. I'm like, never again. But there's something else too, though, about different subscriptions. Now I'm gonna switch it a little bit because that was kind of short. Tell me about Bumble. What this new rule that they've got going on with Bumble?
New rule?
Yeah. The one about hate speech.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So, I haven't heard too much into this. I mean, I know there's been a lot of talk around it. I haven't looked too much into it, but this is what I know. Okay, so Bumble is like another dating app for those who don't know. But what makes Bumble different? Bumble. What makes Bumble different is that this is more of a dating app for women, as in the women are the ones to initiate conversations. So if a woman likes you, she will have to be the one to contact you and start off from there. So this new thing they got going on is that for the women that are like, I guess BBW, if you're a guy and you somehow make it known that you're not really a big fan of like bigger women, either in your profile, and there's been talks that they could tell that you're being discriminatory towards big women if you like keep swiping left on them, then now will classify that as hate speech.
Wait, I don't think it goes that far. I think it only monitors your conversation and maybe what you write on your profile. Now, if you write on your profile, no blacks, no fat people, no disabled people, no trans. If you're writing that type of stuff in your profile, I think they flag that. If a girl in a wheelchair writes you and you say something rude to her because she's in the wheelchair, like, I don't want your crippled blah blah blah, they can flag, they'll catch that. I don't think they can monitor your swipes.
Well, that's what I've heard. Like I said, I haven't heard too much. I haven't looked too much into it, but I have been hearing a lot of it. And that's one of the things that's been coming up is that they can monitor your swipes.
I'll have to look that up because I hadn't seen that. I know that that a lot of the users are, their women are supposed to be initiating it, and then when they initiate it, which I don't understand why this is so hard. If a woman that you don't like is initiating contact with you, you can ignore the message.
Yeah.
So I don't understand.
Like, why you have to say anything?
Yeah, don't say spit. I don't go on to a profile and the dude's got bed sheets for curtains, and I start berating him because he's got bed sheets for curtains. I just politely turn and quietly go out the way I came. I don't sit up there and, oh, you're just trash. You got bed curtains. You got bed sheets for curtains. What's wrong with you? And blah, blah, blah. No. Yeah, hashtag on the lower end of the totem pole. I'm not going to do that. I just turn and go back out the way I came. But a lot of men, I think, are doing that. I think a lot of men are going on there and getting initiations or getting conversations initiated by women that they don't like. And instead of just politely saying, well, no, thank you, I don't think it'd be a match. Or instead of saying something like that, they got to say something smart. Or something rude. Or something dumb. Mm-hmm. Like, I've never done that. Now, if you ask me, if I'm on a date and I don't want you because you're big, like really big, and I'm not trying to date a really big dude, and I say, well, no, I don't think it'd be a good match, but thank you for da-da-da, and then you come back with some, well, why? Then I might just tell you. I try to get out of it without saying anything, but if you just insist on having an answer, I will try to pick the most non-damaging answer I can give. But you gotta let it go. Because the last thing I do is ask, well, why? Because if you guys say something and blow my mind, like, because you're black, because you wear glasses, because I think you're kind of chubby, or I think you're short, or I don't like your hair, or your skin tone is to this, or your this is to that. I'm not trying to hear all that. If I write you and you tell me that, no, I don't think it'd be a good match, blah, 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 I say, okay, well, thank you. And I go right out the way I came. I don't care about your reasoning. Is it a yes or a no? I don't care about your reasoning.
I can see that.
But I think a lot of those dudes on there are just like putting their 2 cents in when no one asks.
You don't have to.
And it's like,
yeah, which I can understand. Like, yeah, it's like, look, if you know, like, okay, you're not really liking what you see, then just politely just ignore the message. You don't even have to reply. But if you must reply, don't be an asshole. Just say, hey, I'm sorry. I'm flattered, but I don't think we'll be compatible.
Make something up
and just go.
I don't think you'll be kept out of heaven for a little white lie. I do it. I've had guys that write me and I'm just like, ugh, he looks like a creature from the deep. But I'm not going to tell him that. I'm just going to say, well, no, I saw on your profile. And then I saw on your profile that you don't smoke and I smoke. So I don't think that would be, just make something up.
Yeah.
Be polite and be kind.
Yeah.
Don't be one of those butthole, well, I'm just honest. No one cares.
Yeah.
Shut up. And be polite and walk away.
Well, no, actually, be honest, because those same people that say I'm just honest, if you're being honest with them, then they will whine and complain about it.
Let's see. Well, I think. Did you have anything else to add about dating profiles? We can make another segment. We'll be right back if there is another segment. Okay, we have whined and complained our way to the end. We have nothing else to say about dating apps, where they come from, who invented them, and why they are so stupid. So, I guess we'll just do our closing remarks. Lance?
Alright, so my closing remarks on dating today is, it's in general, it sucks. And it's very, and I can blame this entirely on internet. For both men and women, when you have these online dating apps, instead of people just kind of I guess, giving more people the chance, they can just toss people to the wayside because, they have access to all these new people that they would normally wouldn't have access to. So it's
just a giant catalog.
It's a giant catalog, and you the whole socializing aspect of dating is kind of lost now.
It's all throwaway people.
Because you're not really doing that. You just kind of just looking through a human catalog, essentially. And that's why I'm like, after all this, I'm kind of just want to go back to the old-fashioned way. Just like, maybe just going out and just meeting people. Just kind of and see how I fare in that aspect. Just going out and just talk to people in general. Because, I don't know, dating apps is just, like, you get thrown away so nonchalantly. You could be like talking to someone for a couple of days, and that person may just stop talking to you because they found someone else they can talk to.
Oh yeah, ghosting is at an all-time high, especially on an app. You could be talking to someone and you think, okay, I'm going to ask them if they want to go meet somewhere to do something, and then you never hear from them again, and you don't know. Well, maybe they died, maybe they moved away, you don't know, because you don't know them, but you felt like you had a connection to them, but they could just decide, okay, I'm tired of this chatting with this person. I'm going to chat with this new person. And they might just chat with them for a few days and then they get tired.
Or they just found someone else, because the entire time they're chatting with you, they could still be on their profile just kind of just swiping left and right.
Yeah, that's true. You never know. And sometimes, and some people, because I've seen it like on Catfish, on MTV's Catfish, they'll be talking to you and they'll really, really like you and really be into you, and they get afraid of what they feel, and it's like too many emotions because they really like you and they want you to like them, and they don't know what to do or and they just disappear. It's just easier to stop talking to you and disappear than it is to just face their feelings of, to me, feelings of happiness. They're happy talking to you, but then they realize I really, really, really like this person. And then they get scared.
That's weird. That doesn't make sense to me.
I've heard that on more than one occasion.
I was like, you're a coward.
On Catfish. They start to feel really happy and good and positive about you. And that scares them. And then they retreat.
You're a bitch. I'm like, I never heard of that.
Yes.
I've never heard of that.
Watch some Catfish. You'll see.
Of course it's from MTV, because MTV is teens and teenagers a week.
Oh God! Here, people are laughing at the photo of you with the record player. These youngins, I tell you, you have to show. Oh, Derek, you have to show little cuz how it goes. Now he the main one that'll be scratching the records, cause he DJ. That's how you like. Oh my gosh!
You ruining the record.
You ruined it. Oh, that was a sidebar. We took a picture and posted it on.
Oh yeah, we're still recording.
Yeah, my brother doesn't know anything about how to go from one song to the next on the record player. I was like, bruh, you just lift the arm and you gotta find it.
I'm nothing but a wee baby. I'm only 29 years old.
Yeah, it's like, dude, come on. But he wants to get a record player. If he can find one. And I guess, what is it, like, zhuzh it up with speakers and surround sound or whatever he's trying to do to it.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to our dating debacles. That's all we have for this episode of our Opinions Are Like. So we are going to let you all go. And we hope you enjoy and laugh along with us. And we will talk with you later.
All right. You have a nice night.
Bye-bye.